Definitely. We've had a number of those games this year where it hasn't worked out perfectly for us. We've won some close games past the 80-minute mark. And the game against Connacht was very similar. We can certainly take a lot away from the leadership that was on the field, the way the guys composed themselves. We struggled with our line-out, as you probably saw throughout the game. We lost 7. Well, we didn't deliver 7 the way we would have liked to have delivered them. And the last 2 line-outs got us back on track. So there was some really good leadership on the field. And I think we take a lot out of that going into these next couple of games. Yeah, over here, definitely. Six Nations goes on all the time. We had the World Cup in 2019 as well, where we had to slot players in and out based on whether they were going to be in the team, the national team or not. And it's no different. You know, it's been a mixed draw this year for us with the Six Nations, and it's something that you face over here. You don't face it from where I'm from in Australia. You play your Super Rugby. There's a dedicated window for Super Rugby, and then you play your tests on the end of that. So it is a challenge. I think we've dealt with it fairly well this year. There's a lot of good depth in this squad, and that's the beauty of having the Six Nations run in between. You get opportunities to see some of these younger guys come through, and we're very happy with where most of those guys are at the moment. There will be a challenge, obviously, over the next couple of weeks, and we're definitely looking for guys to earn their spot in the final. We've got guys coming back from Six Nations. Some guys didn't travel up to the national camp this week. Some other guys are coming back next week. So there's going to be that rotation of players in and out between us and the national squad. That is very difficult to manage, but we're looking for not only game performance but training performance, how well they recover, and we'll take all of that into consideration for the team that we eventually pick for the final. Well, I'll definitely have to do my homework. It's a team that I haven't really spent any time on this year. But our focus, that'll come down the track. Our focus is definitely on Scarlets this weekend. We've got, we're in Tuesday already. We've got a game on Friday. There'll be a bit of buzz around this draw now this afternoon, and maybe tomorrow. But we've definitely got a strong focus here on Scarlets this weekend first, and then over the next couple of weeks we'll certainly do our homework so that we're prepped for that one as well. I think we definitely, we've done it all season. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We want to make sure that the most important game is the game this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's unbelievable. I think we've worked really hard since since COVID. I think a year ago last year, it was a massive statement that this will either change us or for the better or for the worse, and lads definitely took it in their stride and have been working really hard, and just kind of if you look back on the season, we started with Scarlets away last whenever it was, and had to really grind out a win, won it with the last kick of the game, and then kind of went from there and built week and week on week. So it's really satisfying to get to the final after, and you look back at all the hard games we've had to grind out, and then all the games that that we've performed really well. It's massively rewarding, and now we just want to fulfil that almost potential that we have in the group. We're strong believers of ourselves, and we know what each other brings to the game, and when it comes to the final, it's going to be a massive challenge, but we're just looking forward to getting stuck into it. I think each fullback or each player kind of brings their own style of play. You often find, as you said, wingers, they'll try and bring a little winger style into the fullback play. So they'll be sniping off 9, sniping off 10 maybe. I sometimes quite like just to get my hands on the ball, whether it's a playmaker or linking up with the playmakers. But I think it's kind of like the difference between 12 and 13, probably to the viewer. There isn't that much, but I can guarantee you in defence there's a lot more different reads that they have to make. There's a lot more decisions they have to make, and especially in attack, there's varied things. I don't know. I suppose fullback, you're maybe not as connected with your front line, but you have to be connected at the same time as this, trying to find that fine balance of covering kick space, covering front space, and making sure that everybody's working the system and understanding what each other's trying to do. And then in attack, you're just kind of trying to get your hands on the ball as much as you can, make sure you're on the edges. But when the ball's moving away from you, you're trying to, overbalance some sides and really just try and burst through the line and get on the supporting lines as well. But yeah, it's quite hard. I don't know. I don't know. You probably know better than me. I just try and play the way I see it, and I suppose it's the same for each person. Yeah, I mean, it's not even in the game. A lot of it's during the week. The little mini conversations that you'd have, especially as a fullback to a winger, and you're trying to build connections. I'd permanently be chewing his ear off and just trying to, know what he likes, what he's experienced in the past, what he thinks is, would be deemed as good reads, and trying to make sure that each play or whatever happens in that play, we're getting the best result out of it. And as he said, he's been around for a while now, and he's got a vast amount of experience. So when you have somebody like that, you just have to take advantage of it. And whenever you're doubting yourself or you think you have a question, you just ask him and he'll give you a clean-cut answer, and that's exactly what you want. So having him around for another year is unbelievable. Not just as the player he is and what he gives to the team, but just as the advice he gives to all the young lads, myself, and even all the starting wingers and everyone in the team. He's a good guy to have around, a better person off the pitch. So no, it's great.